Okay, so something really interesting is happening with North Korea right now. They're making a huge, high stakes play on the world stage. We're talking nuclear threats, ghosting an old ally. It's a lot. So let's get into it and break down exactly what this wild strategy is all about.
So, picture this. It's early 2026, and there's a big conflict brewing with Iran. And what does North Korea do? Something weird. They start cranking up the anti US rhetoric, which, okay, that's not super surprising, but at the exact same time, they completely ice out their longtime partner, Iran. It just doesn't add up. So, what on earth is going on here?
And that's the big puzzle, right? Why would you tick off an ally while at the same time kinda sorta leaving the door open for your main adversary? It seems totally contradictory. But, it's a really complex play. And to figure it out, we've got to look at the clues they're leaving.
All right, clue number one. And this one is a biggie. It comes straight from Kim Jong Un himself during the Ninth Party Congress back in February 2026. This wasn't just your typical statement either. No, this set a brand new, really hard line in the sand.
And here's the kicker, right here in this quote. He's basically saying, sure, we can talk, but only, and this is a huge only, if the United States officially recognizes us as a nuclear-armed power. And get this, they've actually written it into their constitution. That makes it a fundamental part of their national identity. It's about as non-negotiable as you can possibly get.
When you look at how their position has changed, it's pretty stark. Just a few months before, back in September 2025, they were saying, hey, just stop talking about denuclearization. But now it's, you must formally recognize our constitutional right to have nukes. That's a huge leap. As analyst Rachel Minyoung Lee points out, that is a much, much stronger demand.
And believe me, this isn't just talk. They're putting their money where their mouth is. The Party Congress also rolled out this big 5-year plan to seriously beef up their nuclear program. I mean, we're talking more advanced long-range missiles, better satellites, more warheads, the whole shebang. They're even planning to arm their Navy with nuclear weapons. It's crystal clear. Their nuclear arsenal is now the absolute backbone of their entire defense strategy.
Okay, let's get to clue number two. This one is just as interesting, but it's about who North Korea is pointedly ignoring. We're seeing this very deliberate, very public move to put some space between themselves and Iran, and they're doing it right in the middle of a major conflict. So check this out. According to South Korea's intelligence agency, Pyongyang has done a few things to really send a message. They haven't sent any weapons to Tehran. When Iran's supreme leader died, there were no public condolences from North Korea. Zero. And they didn't even send a congratulations to the new leader. Sometimes what you don't do speaks louder than what you do. Especially when you see Russia and China sending all these messages of support, North Korea's silence is just deafening. So what is the end game here? You've got this super hard line on nukes, and you're giving the cold shoulder to a major ally? It's a weird combo. Well, according to intelligence analysts, this whole strategy seems to be designed with one specific person in mind. Okay, so North Korean media is going all out condemning the US with some really harsh language, like calling its actions a shameless rogue act. But there's one thing they've been super careful about. They haven't criticized former President Donald Trump by name, not once since he took office in January 2025. And you can bet that's not an accident. That is absolutely an intentional signal. And this is where the strategy really comes into focus. Analysts like Rachel Minyoung Lee think this is a very calculated play. The thinking is that Pyongyang is keeping its options open, diplomatically speaking. They seem to believe that if they're ever going to get a deal where the US recognizes them as a nuclear power, their best shot, their only shot really, is with Trump. So all of this, it brings us to the real heart of the matter. What's driving this whole crazy strategy? Well, for North Korea, what happens on the world stage isn't just news. It's a textbook, a real-world lesson in how to survive. And the big lesson they've learned from watching conflicts around the world, including the one in Iran, is pretty simple. A powerful nuclear arsenal is the only thing that can truly guarantee your country's survival and safety. For them, it's the ultimate insurance policy. This quote here from their official newspaper, it says it all. It perfectly captures how they see the world. Military power isn't just about defense. It's about dignity, safety, and their very standing as a nation. This is why they're willing to put up with all the sanctions and isolation. It's why being recognized as a nuclear state isn't just some goal. It's everything. So there you have it. North Korea is ditching an old friend to try and woo its biggest enemy, and the whole plan rests on the bet that their nukes make them untouchable. It's a fascinating, bold strategy, but it leaves us with a huge question. Is this a masterclass in diplomacy, or is it just a reckless gamble? And maybe the even bigger question is, what happens if it actually works?